Alright. I saw a video just a couple days ago on YouTube. Some black girl in Atlanta, which is from my home state. It's the capital of Georgia, so all the good stuff happens in Atlanta. She's on the train and she's screaming and singing the Soulja Boy song and all that, which is played out and old as dirt, but that's beside the point. And she's screaming at some elderly lady. And there's nothing but black people on this train now. So there's nothing racist about this entire video. And you can't even say it's racism because everyone on the train was black. Alright? My uncle and my cousin are cops in Atlanta, Georgia, so I hear about this stuff all the time. She's screaming at this old lady. I mean, this lady's like Rosa Parks old. I mean, like, Betty Ford old. I mean, this lady's a walker. You can tell she ain't getting up quick. Anywho, and this girl is dancing around the train, screaming, trying to freestyle. And might I say, she's about as good as Lil Wayne, so not very talented. And finally, you hear younger guys, young bucks on the train, 30s, 20s, telling her to sit down. Stop, it's not necessary, you don't need to be doing this. Well, finally, someone gets up in her face and grabs her hat off. And she's wearing the big fitted, little dumbass fitted caps people wear. Look at me, I like sports teams. Good for you. Good little sheeple, good. Keep watching sports. Anywho, and she starts snapping on the dude. And he almost pulled her nappy little weave off, too. Well, this ratchet little girl, and I say little girl, she's probably like 20, but she's acting like, the typical 6-year-old who can't have a bag of M&Ms, so they pitch a temper tantrum because they didn't get enough spankings. This guy is telling her, dude, get off the train, stop doing that, you don't need to be doing that in public. And she'd been going on for 5 or 6 minutes this way before anyone had the balls to say anything to her. So I've been reading the comments and stuff, and some guy said something about mental illness, and all she needs is a good ass kicking, and he was being sarcastic, saying that kicking her ass is a logical reason, even though she's mentally ill. All semantics aside, let me explain something about mental illness. When you're getting arrested, or when someone's about to beat the fuck out of you for being an asshole, they don't care if you're mentally ill, and they shouldn't. You shouldn't be allowed to be in public if you're going to act a fool. If you're going to slap kids out of people's arms, if you're going to grab people by the hair and cut them, if you're going to get up in someone's face and start screaming at him and then be mad when he shoots you, you shouldn't have been in public. You should have been either court committed to a mental facility, thrown in prison so we could at least get some money out of your ass, or executed. And see, I have a Beretta, and these are Hornadies. They're about $1.03 a round. Well, $3 to execute you is a hell of a lot cheaper than having to keep fucking, letting you out, bringing you in, letting you out, bringing you in. And if you go for FMJs, Full Metal Jackets, you're talking like 30 cents a round. So, fuck that. Talking about mentally ill. My entire life I was made fun of and picked on. I don't need to go into all that. Well, when I got out of the Army, alright, first of all, they said I had ADHD as a kid. So I lied on my Army papers and, I signed up. I said I had never been on Ritalin or Adderall or any of that. Alright? Now, all that was standing, when I got out of the Army, they med boarded me. And it wasn't a physical med board, it was psychological. They said I'd seen too much combat and diagnosed me as a borderline sociopath. And this isn't the type of sociopath that lies to you and promises you the world and all that. No. There's certain criteria that you have to fill to become a schizophrenic or a psychopath or a sociopath. Well, there's, I want to say 7 things you have to meet to be a sociopath. If you only meet 4 of these things, 3 or 4, you're classified as a borderline sociopath. Now what this means is you have a lack of empathy for people. Anyone who knows me tells you I'm one of the most compassionate and caring people until you piss me off. Alright? What qualifies me to be a borderline sociopath is I don't relate to other humans. I don't. I never related to other people. I didn't as a child and I don't as an adult. Less so now that I'm an adult. Alright. Another qualifying factor that I meet the criteria of is, what is it? Emotional detachment, or a callous demeanor, or glib. I'm surfacely friendly on my face and I'm smiling. Like, oh, it's really good to meet you. Hey, oh, I hope you're having a good day. When really, it's not that I don't give a shit. I just don't show emotions on my face very often. Half the time, I really don't give a flying crap. I mean, anything you go through, whether it's rape or, and I'm talking beyond a certain age limit. Rape, ass whoopings, murders, gang activity, criminal violence, any of that crap that goes wrong in people's lives, you're responsible for it. You need to be aware of everything around you and everyone around you. That way, nothing's going to happen without you knowing about it, which gives you time to react and stop or get the hell out of there. That's called situational awareness in the military. Know what's going on in the area you're at. Pay attention. Rapes would go down to almost maybe 5% of what they are now. Molestations, those mostly can't be helped because those are children like 2, 3, 4, 5. They're too young to really fight back, so that really can't be helped. But all the crime we have as a country would almost completely vanish if everyone was responsible for their actions and paid attention to every single thing in their environment. But whatever. Nevertheless, as a borderline sociopath, the Hollywood representation of it is I'd shoot you in the face for your shoes. Or I could be at a bar drinking a beer and, you start some shit with me and I stab the beer bottle in your throat and sit down and have another one. Alright, that's an extreme exaggeration of borderline sociopath. We're sitting here and, some guy walks up to me, starts talking shit, BAM! And I sit back and talk to you like nothing happened. That is the type of person I am. I'm known for doing things like that. But it doesn't happen that often because I control myself. I'm not on any psych meds. I'm not on any medication from the VA. I refuse any help. I don't even go to therapy. There's no excuse for this behavior from people. I don't care if they're 6 years old or 60. That type of behavior is unacceptable and should not be tolerated in any society that wants to better itself. You have to think, not too long ago, about 100 years ago, in our country, anyone who acted a fool in public, wanted to fucking show their ass in public, would be locked up in a mental facility where they would be raped, beaten, molested, tortured, and starved to death, among many, 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 many other things. And that's what your mental institutions and prisons did to you. Alright? So we've come a long way with, oh, these poor little babies, they just misunderstood, they just depressed, they bipolar. Bullshit. They have no sense of self-control. Now, whether someone's taught them self-control or not, maybe, maybe not. For someone to teach you, you have to be receptive. You have to be willing to listen. Shut your dick sucker and open your ear holes. And actually retain it. Alright? There's no excuse in this. There's none. There's no lack of empathy per se. It's more, it's wrong. You don't need to be doing that in public. You want to act a fool at home? Fine, act a fool at home. Don't go out in the parking lot or, in your front yard and not expect someone to have a problem with you. It's just common damn sense, people. Jesus. This stuff should not have to be said, but unfortunately it has to be said because the national IQ is going down to a box of cornflakes. So, anywho, peace out, blessed be, and I hope this is somewhat informative. Feel free to like, subscribe, and do whatever. Bye.